Hey there, it's Keith Hayden, the digital novelist, here with day 3 of my 30-day challenge learning Korean only with AI tools, pretty much learning from scratch because I haven't really ever studied the language with any seriousness. So this is all part of a an experiment for my upcoming book, the updated Tower of Babbling 2.0. Tower of Babbling was my original language learning book where I went through all of the old school methods that I used to learn Spanish, Japanese, going back to my college days. So that's flashcards, textbooks, um, just exercises you can do with yourself, you name it. All the old school methods, books, and things like that. Here, we're experimenting. We're in the age of AI now, and we know that AI is powerful, but how powerful is it? Well, we're going to find out, and I'm going to publish my findings and the results of this experiment in this book. So if you're interested in learning more, then head to my website, link in the description, right? Okay, so how did today's session go? As usual, I keep putting off my Korean study until late at night, which I'm a morning person. Like I'm up, like I'm a 4:30 in the morning type of guy, so that's probably not great for me. I should probably hit it earlier, but that's the whole point of the limitations of this experiment, to do it in a way that you possibly, you probably don't have all the time in the world to learn Korean. I know I don't. I have many other things to do, so I'm trying to fit it in as realistically as possible, limiting myself to only 30 minutes a day. With that said, how did today go? Well, I started out really not really sure what to do. So I went to my friendly AI instructor and asked, what the hell should I do for day 3? And then it came up with all of these options, right? And I was like, yo, okay, let's just pick one. So I ended up randomly selecting one of these, and I ended up picking learning some survival phrases. And then it just totally flooded me with build this tiny world and picture yourself. I was trying to do some like envisioning exercises to where, you can picture yourself in the market smelling the Korean noodles, and, there's a vendor hawking wares and all this stuff. Kimchi's in the air. And I was just like, look, man, that's just too much. You're going to have to break this down for me. So you can see where I said, holy shit, that's so much. Let's just focus on one. And then we ended up just focusing on these dialogues. And I did learn some new phrases. I don't know how much they're going to stick, but I did end up reviewing some of the things that I did yesterday. So, um, Gogie, and then I found out I made like an organic connection. I learned Yogi yesterday, which means here. Today, ChatGPT used Gogi, which means there. And I kind of put that together, having learned a lot of Japanese. I know Japanese has a similar kind of mechanic with here, there, and over there. And turns out Korean has the same thing. Of course, they just have different words. So I kind of came up with that organically. And that was cool. That was showing that, hey, I'm actually processing this. And so that was the first 10 minutes. I was pretty strict with the 10 minutes today. I followed it. And then I did what I did last time. I copied all of this over to Notebook LM, and I reviewed my flashcards. These flashcards that I made yesterday of yesterday's conversation, I just reviewed them. So that was good. After my review, I had about 10 minutes left. Well, I had about 15 minutes left or something like that. So I decided to try Google Gemini. And this is where today the comparison I really got to see. And so the challenge with Gemini is that on desktop, I'm it doesn't have the voice mode. So if I were to click use microphone, it's just like use microphone to create text. It's like speech to text. Um, I thought sure it had the live mode on desktop. I guess it doesn't. So I had to use it on my phone. It doesn't really matter. Um, it turns out Gemini is way more precise when it comes to pronunciation. So for instance, yesterday I learned the phrase um, um, now I'm blanking on the phrase. I learned the phrase like, "Do you come here often?" And it's like, oh, here it is. Yogi jaju jaju oseo. Yogi jaju oseo. Do you come here often? Yogi here jaju often. Oseo. Do you? Um, ChatGPT was pronouncing it a different way. It was going jaji yogi jaju oseo. That ja and Gemini was very. And okay, it may seem like I'm nitpicking and is a brass tacks, whatever. If you don't know Korean, but this makes a big difference to a native speaker if you're getting it right or not. And Gemini went laser focused, and I caught it. I was like, well, ChatGPT was telling me something else, and Gemini was like, nah, bro, don't listen to him. Listen to me. it's it's Jaju, Jaju Oseo. I was like, okay. And it makes sense that Google's model, they just have so much data on languages throughout all over the world. And so it makes sense that it would be a little bit more accurate than ChatGPT. Now, the downside of Gemini is that for some reason the audio, the live interaction on my phone is not as smooth. Like it will drop randomly, it will pause the conversation randomly. Like when it works really well. Like it flows back and forth. You can interrupt it just like ChatGPT, but I feel like ChatGPT is just a little bit stronger as far as the reliability, the stability of the chatbot on the phone, if that makes sense. Gemini is not behind by much, but it's enough to where we're trying to have that real time conversation, and it's hard when the chatbot kind of loses the plot and it feels like it gets kind of lost. But either way, I had a great conversation with Gemini. It was just good. It was just very smooth. Once when it wasn't dropping, it it was amazingly good at slowing things down and actually like giving you examples, making it easier for you to pronounce because Korean is pretty tough if you don't know any Korean, which I don't know much. So it was good at like giving you an on ramp, whereas ChatGPT is just like you saw the first. It's like, look, you asked for the menu. Here's the menu. Are you gonna order the whole thing? And I'm like, yo, I'm not that hungry. So this was a good day. I'm glad I did it. It was rough to do it on a Saturday night because I really didn't feel like doing it. I really have to do it earlier to make sure like I get the just have the energy to do it because like I said, most of my energies comes in the morning and then by this time I'm pretty much dead. So this is pretty cognitively heavy activity. But what do you think? Are you using AI to learn languages? Are you also learning Korean? Let me know in the comments. And with that, I will see you in the next update.